Hi guys, today we're gonna dive into the top 10 most sustainable floors. And I've got to tell you guys something. Early on in one of my videos, I made a kind of funny off the cuff remark. I had referenced this not thinking it was actually a thing. And guess what? It's on our list today of top 10 floors. And I was literally flabbergasted when I realized that one of the sustainable flooring materials I accidentally mentioned, not knowing it was actually a sustainable floor material. So you're gonna have to stick through to hear what that one is. All right, let's dive in. Starting off our list today, we are gonna go over cork. So one of the more sustainable flooring materials is cork. And I feel like we all know about cork from our wine bottles. I may have had a lot of that lately. If you weren't aware, it is actually a very sustainable material. It is the bark of a tree, a specific tree. It's called a cork oak tree, and they just take that off, and that's what we use for cork, and it's renewable. It basically grows back its skin in a way. It's bark. What's great is that these trees are not cut down to get the cork, so they can just take off that layer and then the tree grows it back. So what's awesome about using cork is that you know you're using a sustainable material. It is essentially made from like a wood product, but of course we know cork is a little bit spongy, and it's just a great earth-friendly product to use in residential. But what's also good about it is it's antimicrobial. So it's actually really healthy for you too. It will actually reduce the allergens in your home. And one of the things with cork is I feel like we always see it in one kind of look, but cork can actually look like a lot of, it kind of always looks like cork, but there's different ways of manufacturing it so that it looks a little bit different. You can get different colorways, a little bit different patterning. So cork is, I think, a lot more versatile than people think. One of the nice things too is when you're purchasing something like a cork floor, you are still getting the longevity that you get with a traditional hardwood floor. So you're not sacrificing on a shorter term life cycle when you choose to use a product like cork. And what's also great is it can be stained and finished in any color that goes with your design scheme. So it just really doesn't limit you in any sort of way. The next product line, and I feel like you're probably like, yep, I knew that was going to be on the list, and you're right, it's bamboo. I feel like we've been talking about bamboo for a long time, but bamboo, because it's a grass, but it looks similar to hardwood, and it actually has a lot of the same characteristics of hardwood because it can actually grow to be quite hard and quite dense. Bamboo is a great sustainable flooring material. It's durable, it's easy to maintain, and it's easy to install. It's very similar to installing a wood floor. And what's nice about bamboo is just how fast they grow, which is why it's so sustainable. You know, trees take decades upon decades to reach maturity, whereas bamboo only takes a few years. So you can have a fully mature bamboo plant in about 5 years that's ready to harvest and make into a sustainable flooring product. And why that's so awesome is that you're able to continually renew it, and you're able to renew it quickly. So really, when you think like wood is a renewable resource, but it just takes so long to have that resource replenish itself. Whereas bamboo, being that it's like a grass, and honestly for some people it's more of a weed, it grows back really fast and in abundance. So it's a good product to use. And what I've found with bamboo is over the years, they've really made it look less bamboo-y, if that's a word. But they've really been able to add different hues to it and even kind of change the look of some of the flooring. So it doesn't always have that kind of traditional, oh, this is a bamboo floor look. So that's great. They've really come a far way in their engineering of bamboo floors. The next type of flooring material is linoleum. And I feel like when people think of linoleum, they actually are thinking about vinyl, but they're not the same. They're not the same at all. Linoleum is actually really, really sustainable. Vinyl, not so much. So vinyl is made out of synthetic materials and chemicals, whereas linoleum is actually created out of linseed oil, cork dust, tree resin, wood flour, pigments, and ground limestone. What's awesome, like cork, is it's very fire resistant, it's moisture resistant, and overall just really good for the environment. It really fell out of favor in the 1940s when vinyl was created, but I feel like back then we really didn't know how harmful a lot of this stuff was. So as we now reflect onto using more sustainable products, linoleum is actually an excellent sustainable product line that we should be considering to use for our flooring. What's really nice about linoleum is it also comes in a wide variety of colors. It comes in vibrant colors. It has so many possibilities for application. And again, it holds up to wear and tear really, really well. So it's a great product to look at for commercial settings. Our next sustainable flooring is one that I kind of had to go, because I think of it more of a backsplash, but you can use it as a flooring, which I thought was really cool. And that's glass tiles. So things like wine bottles and beer bottles and all of those alcoholic bottles, because aren't we all a little bit of an alcoholic these days? I know lockdown has made me one. Just kidding. Kind of, not really. Okay, moving on. So these can be recycled and they can actually be made into glass tiles. Well, what's wonderful is you can actually use this in washrooms on the floor. And I really was like, oh yeah, I guess you totally could, because it is just like another tile. But I mean, I really just hadn't thought of it on the floor, but I have definitely thought of it on the wall. So I guess this is kind of a twofold. You can use it as a floor tile, but you can also use it as a wall tile. Like some of the other materials, of course, because it is glass, it means that it is great for wet environments, as it's not gonna, absorb anything or have any mildew grow on it and all that gross stuff that we don't really like to talk about. It's also really easy to maintain. It's not gonna stain, and it comes in an endless variety of colors. So you can really, make it fit any design style that you have. A little design tip for you guys too. Using a glass tile is great if you have a space that's needing more light, because glass will reflect light versus ceramic tiles that will really absorb it. So just a little trick there. All right, our next sustainable flooring material is concrete. I talked about this in one of my recent videos. Concrete is really a great sustainable material. If you've watched the Millennial Life Crisis at all, they're talking about doing it in their new house in Palm Springs. I do really like her channel, and it's gaining a lot of popularity, especially with that whole minimalist modern look. Concrete is a really good, option for that, because it really does fit that style. What's nice about concrete as well is that it can actually be polished and stained, and it can have a lot of different looks. So you can actually get into a concrete floor that has more of a traditional tile floor look, have a stamped look, have a stain to it. It can have a stamp done on it. Like, there's so many ways to use concrete that it can look so different. So not only is it sustainable, but it's a really interesting, versatile design material as well. All right, the next sustainable flooring material is wool carpet. So carpet isn't necessarily, I don't think, on trend by any means, but I know for me, I like carpet in like the bedrooms and like in the upper floors, because there's nothing worse than waking up on a cold morning in Canada and stepping onto like a hard cold surface. So there is a lot of use for carpet, but carpet is notoriously not sustainable. This is sustainable. So what's great about wool is it obviously comes from a sheep, and it can be spun and made into like any color with very easy dyes. They don't have to be full of chemicals. It's a very natural material, and it's one of the first materials that was ever used as a floor covering. And what is nice about using wool in your home is that it's really, really durable. It's going to last you a really, really long time. It's an excellent flooring choice, or an excellent, if you're not going to do like, wool carpeting, you're going to do like a wool rug. And that's a really great option for your home, and it's sustainable. Other really great rugs too in the whole sustainable category are using sisal, jute, and cotton. So those are all a bunch of really great flooring types, kind of a couple bonuses there. All right, still with the carpet. I know some people hate carpet, but carpet's great, trust me. Is called PET Berber carpet. So this is actually made of recycled bottles. So it's a recycled material that's made into a carpet. It does have a little bit of a flecked appearance to it. So I think from aesthetics, it's kind of like very specific. Also, it's, from what I've read, it's kind of rough to walk on. So I feel like this is like a great outdoor carpet. Like you use this on your back patio underneath your furniture and it's really gonna hold up. So I think that's kind of more where you would use this, but really interesting choice. Working down the list, we're almost at the one that I just can't believe that it actually is a flooring, but this one isn't. This one's rubber. We've all heard of rubber. So rubber is a recycled flooring. I feel like you usually see it at like a local playground. Like that is the type of rubber that we're talking about, but it also is finding its way into residences. We're finding it in kitchens, sunrooms, bathrooms, and we're even finding it in, you know, commercial spaces a lot as well, because it is a really good versatile product. It's very durable. It's, you know, great for walking on because it's got that sponginess quality to it, and it really is a great product for longevity and water resistance, and it has many colors and patterns and different things. So rubber is an excellent flooring option. It does have a very particular look, but it's really, really durable and it's eco-friendly. Okay, we have arrived at flooring type number 9, and I joked about this because I thought this was, I just said it without thinking and I was like, that's not a thing. And I was like, what am I talking about? But apparently it's a thing. Oh my God. So this sustainable flooring type, now I'm just gonna put a like disclaimer. If you're vegan or vegetarian, sorry, this one's not for you, but it's leather flooring. I didn't actually think this was a thing. I said it once and was like, that's not a thing, but it is. And here I am like a year later going, oh my God, that is an actual thing. So leather flooring is a thing. I think it says it's a sustainable flooring. I don't know exactly. I feel like that's a bit controversial. I think why they say it's sustainable is because instead of that being tossed, they're actually using it for another opportunity. So yeah, but basically it's the same type of leather that's used for wallets and belts and handbags. So the same leather that goes into those would go into this, and it really would be nice for like a bedroom or a closet, or just like areas with not a lot of foot traffic, but just like an interesting, unique material. Obviously it's leather, so don't like think of using it in your kitchen or your bathroom or anywhere there's a lot of water, because that's just like silly. But it will wear and weather really well over time, and it kind of ends up developing its own personality because it kind of changes. But again, it's like one of those ones where I'm like, how is it sustainable? And I kind of get it, but I kind of don't get it. So I'm sorry, this one might be a bit controversial, but I had to include it in the list because I didn't actually think it was a thing. And apparently it's a thing. Leather floors. There you go. I made a joke thinking I was so funny, and it's actually a thing. All right, and if you've made it all the way to number 10, thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. I really love making this content. So the fact that you've stuck around, thank you so much. And if you are enjoying this content, before I get into the final top 10, number 10 of the list, please hit that like button. It really does mean a lot to me. It really helps, you know, for the algorithm and all that stuff to like put my video out there. So thank you. And don't forget to subscribe, and also comment below what other, you know, sustainable or other design videos are you interested in. I would love to hear from you. A lot of these videos right now that are coming out are recommended from you guys, so keep on recommending because I love making them. Let's get into the 10th sustainable flooring, maybe the 9th depending on how you felt about the last one. Reclaimed hardwood. I feel like you can't go through the list and not like get to a hardwood of some sort, right? If you have your heart set on traditional hardwood floors, but you don't want brand new because you don't want to, you know, take a tree down for it, but you really love a hardwood floor and you want to be sustainable, you can. You used reclaimed hardwood floors. So what's nice about reclaimed wood is you're basically salvaging it from, you know, its end of life somewhere. So perhaps it's barn board from an old barn that's going to be torn down, and you're able to collect that and have it milled and made into new flooring for your house. So that's a really good way to have hardwood floors in a sustainable way, is where you're reclaiming it from something that no longer has use. And honestly, once you sand it down and stain it, it will just look super beautiful. And the other option is, if your heart is set on a certain look with the hardwood flooring, is to make sure that you're using FSC certified wood. This is the Forest Stewardship Council, and they promote the responsible management for forests and how we are and how we're impacting the environment when we go to, you know, cut down the tree and make wood floors or make wood products in general. They are managing that whole cycle and making sure that it's done in a sustainable way, where they're replanting and regrowing and all of that kind of stuff. So if you really want hardwood floors, you can have hardwood floors. If you really want sustainable hardwood floors, you can really have sustainable hardwood floors. There's lots of options. What I love about sustainable design is that we don't have to sacrifice good design for sustainable products. We can live in a world where we use the beautiful items that are in this world in a sustainable way to have great design and really still feel good about everything that we're doing. So if you're liking this content, jump over to this video here. It's got a lot of great information on other sustainable products and just being eco-friendly in general. All right, guys, until next time, bye.